100 other guys, but I mean, like, do you feel like you're now in the position to lead this team to where it needs to go?
100%. Yeah, it's been great to have a whole off season and just kind of just throw myself out there and be there for the guys and grow together. So for me, it's been great to just understand that and know my role as a leader on this team.
How much work did you put in the off season? I know your receivers to both sides of you, just like in a game, but they said that they've seen you progress. Is that what you worked on over the off season to get,
Yeah, I'd say the big thing I talked with Coach Christ was like, obviously we went through spring ball and we all got better through spring ball, and it was my biggest thing was how can I just keep that going and be consistent with it every day. And my approach has been just a holistic view on that. Like, how can I be the best I can be in the classroom, with my family, with my faith, and on the field. And for me, my standard I set for myself was that I'm not going to let one of those falter at all. Like, I'm going to be a complete person this season and just have fun doing what I love to do. So
we talked 2 years ago. You loved Wisconsin before you got here. Is it everything so far that you've expected? I remember talking to you probably about the same spot 2 years ago, and you're like, people were worried that you were going to go somewhere else, but you picked Wisconsin. You said, I love it here. Is it everything that you thought it would be and more?
And more and more and more. Yeah. I love everything about this state, this city. It's no complaints at all. It's everything I wish for and more. So.
Have you started trash talking Jack Cohen at all for that Notre Dame matchup and trying to intimidate him at all?
No, not at all. Not at all. I haven't talked to him since he left. So.
What do you just kind of think about the situation he found at Notre Dame, and do you kind of look forward to that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for him. I wish nothing. Back then, I wish nothing but the best for him. Still do. I hope they have a great season. But when we play them, we're gonna be ready to go. And but for us, it's just we got to go week by week, and for us, it's just another game. So can't get too juiced up for it.
The guy I wanted to ask you about was Shimmeray, because he got thrown into a tough spot last year when injuries hit the wide receiver position, and all of a sudden he had to be that guy in the receiver room that defense is keyed on it and focused on. How did you think he handled that, maybe in specifically some of the games you lost and weren't able to pass the ball as well? And how do you think that helps him in year two?
I think the biggest thing with Chim, and Chim and I, we talk all the time. We have a bunch of one-on-one detox, and for us it was just going through that last year together and really working off each other and understanding how we play and knowing that was not what we want to be. And for us, it was being able to learn from that and growing from that. And like I was saying earlier, just being honest with yourself. And I think that Chim and I do a great job of communicating and keeping that honest. Like, he's going to call me out when I'm doing something wrong. I'm going to call him out when he's doing something wrong. But we know why we're doing it. And I think that's the cool thing with Chim is that just our approach is very similar in the way we go about things. And he'll be he is a great receiver, but he'll be a great pro one day. So I'm excited for him.
Graham, when we were down in Indy,
No, go ahead.
Okay, when we were down in Indy for the Big Ten meetings, Paul was talking about that 85% of the team is vaccinated. And he's basically saying, it's good for us to get that high, but it's an individual choice for everybody. Yeah. How do the players handle that? Because if you're vaccinated, you don't have to be tested. Mm-hmm. You probably have a better chance that you're not going to miss time.
Yeah.
But you don't want to pressure someone and say, roll up your sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, it's for us. There's no pressuring. We know that guys got their own opinions, and if a guy doesn't want to get it, I mean, I'm not gonna jump him for it. Everybody has the right to their own opinion, and they can do what they want to do. So obviously, we'd love to be close to 100%, but realistically, it's probably not gonna happen because some people probably don't feel comfortable getting it, or I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but I mean, I got mine just because I knew the benefits for us as a team, and for me getting it, that I wouldn't be able to get quarantined or any of that stuff. So for me, my choice was I was just going to get it just because it was the best thing for the team and for the situation that we're in right now.
A couple of guys just said, I don't want to be tested. They're just tired of being tested.
Yeah, that's probably, everybody's got their own reasons.
When you talk to teammates, did you talk about your own experiences last year when you had to go through it and just what it was like? Or something new?
Yeah, one big thing about this team this year is that we're really open to each other. So we've had, not even in the facility, we'll get together, go get food together, and we'll just talk about, we'll have really deep talks at just random dinner places. But yeah, I mean, that's how you grow together. Like the second if you can't bring up your experiences and let everybody learn from it, that's you start growing at different speeds. So for us, it was just kind of everybody's open to each other, and that's really cool about the spot.
Not knocking the other guys up front protecting you, but that right side of the line looked really strong in the spring. What do you like about that combo of Bruss and Nelson working together?
Yeah, I think they're great. And for me, just being able to drop back knowing that I got guys like that up front is big time. And they work great off each other, and then obviously our left side works great together. And Caden does a great job of owning it. So for me, dropping back knowing that I got those guys up front, they got my back, I got theirs all the time. So it's big time.
Graham, you mentioned Caden owning it. He just talked to me about feeling more comfortable and just knowing the offense, front to back now. Maybe he wasn't there a couple of years ago. How do you see that as a quarterback when your center has that comfortability and the knowledge of the offense now?
Yeah, I think that the big thing with a quarterback center combo is when you truly understand it together and understand mic points, understand protections, understand run game, understand pass game, like all that stuff. And for me, we're at the point now where it's like a weird duo where we know exactly where we're going with everything. So for us, it's been cool to just kind of go through that, and we missed them for a couple games last year, but going through spring and just kind of throwing ourselves out there as, like I said earlier, just being sponges, and however I can help him out, I'm going to do it. However he can help me out, he's going to do it. So I think that we got a great sense of trust between each other.
Is that something you can practice in the off season, or do you need that full? Okay, I was just like, do you need that full defense out in front of you to be able to do that?
No, we can do that literally any time. We had conversations before a workout one morning just about mic points, and Katie and I don't, and watching film, stuff like that. Like we do it all the time. Like we're always talking. I don't know why, but we always end up talking about mic points for some reason. But it's probably a good thing.
And barbecue, probably.
And barbecue. Yeah.
Teammates have said you're as confident as ever, maybe even more so. What gives you confidence about yourself and this team going into the season?
Yeah, I think that with me, it was just truly being honest with myself, knowing the areas I had to improve and attacking it with everything I got. And after you do that, it kind of just builds up that trust within myself that I know that I put in the work, and I know that the guys around me put in the work. So for me, I'm fully confident in myself and in this team, and we're ready to go.
You said this spring you were really focusing on your footwork. How do you think that's gotten better, and how do you think it can translate to more production?
Yeah, I mean, if you go turn on the tape from last year, you'll see completely different footwork than in the spring. I've changed some things in my drop, a lot more tempo, a lot more calm in the drop. That's allowed me to just open up my eyes a little bit more, play more smooth, make some throws that I hadn't been making. So the drop plays a big role in that.
When you turn on the tape, specifically during that maybe 3-game losing streak in Big Ten West play, what didn't you like about obviously there were some outside circumstances that affected you guys as a team, but for you specifically, what maybe bugs you about that stretch?
I wouldn't say I'd say the biggest thing was just the way I was playing, and my feet weren't connected to my eyes. I wasn't playing as one quarterback. It was like my feet would go one way, and then my head was 2 steps ahead of it. So for me, that was one thing I didn't enjoy watching, is just how sporadic some things were. And for me, this offseason, this spring, it was great to kind of get back there and truly tie my eyes and my feet together, work through progressions, and just play smooth.
Obviously, the easy out might be to say, okay, we lost Danny, KP, and some other pieces on offense after averaging 47. We averaged 47 points per game when everybody was healthy. Mm-hmm. Do you guys use that as a crutch, or what do you attribute that to?
No, I'd say we haven't really. It's easy to make excuses, especially in this world today. And I'd say that for us, it was. You could say that all day, but it's always next guy up. Like, how much depth you got at each position. All right, you lose your top 2, who you're next to, and are they ready to go? Have they been putting in the work? And for us, I think it kind of shocked the whole team that the next guy up and the next guy after him need to be ready to go at all times. And just that holistic approach of, I'm going to own this offense, I'm going to own my position. And I think this offseason we got to that with most of the guys.
And a guy I want to ask you about was Ches, because obviously he comes from a program. I mean, he's never even missed a college football playoff. He's played a national title game. What does he bring, just in terms of the standpoint of what he can provide from a knowledge standpoint of what it takes to get there and have a program that can compete that way consistently.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a bunch of talks with Ches and just kind of picked his brain on, like, all right, what's the best team you've ever been on? What separated him and what made him great? And but I just say that him as a whole in our offense, from like a schematic standpoint, he's obviously a great pass catcher. He did a lot at Clemson. But he also does a great job of protections, knowing where he's going, when he's going Mike to Sam, when he's going Mike to Will. Just the little details he's really good at, and I'm excited to see him get to work in fall camp.
What was some of that stuff he just said about what it takes, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, everybody should know it. Like, if you're on a team, you should know, all right, the best team's going to be the closest team. The best team's going to be the most honest with each other team. And then a team that can trust each other is going to be the biggest thing. The second you got guys that don't trust each other and then causes a divide in the team, that's where you lose the team. So for us, it was, I think that we've done a great job of truly being one team this offseason and growing together, building up that trust, and we're in a great spot right now.